Chapter 8. A Breakfast of Champions. Growth means change, and change involves risk. Stepping from the known to the unknown. Author, unknown. When he reached his room, Mac discovered that his clothes, which he had left back in the car, were either folded on top of the dresser or hung in the open closet. To his amusement, he also found a Gideon's Bible in the nightstand. He opened the window wide to let the outside night flow freely in, something that Nan never tolerated at home because of her fear of spiders and anything else crawly and creepy. Snuggling like a small child deep inside the heavy down comforter, he had only made it through a couple verses before the Bible somehow left his hand. The light somehow turned off. Someone kissed him on the cheek, and he was lifting gently off the ground in a flying dream. Those who have never flown this way might think those who believe they do rather daft, but secretly they are probably at least a little envious. He hadn't had a flying dream in years, not since the great sadness had descended. But tonight, Mac flew high in the starlit night, the air clear and cool, but not uncomfortable. He soared above lakes and rivers, crossing an ocean, coast, and a number of reef-rimmed islets. As odd as it sounds, Mac had learned inside his dreams to fly like this, to lift off the ground, supported by nothing. No wings, no aircraft of any sort, just himself. Beginning flights were usually limited to a few inches, due mostly to fear, or more accurately, a dread of falling. Stretching his flights to a foot or two, and eventually higher, increased his confidence, as did his discovery that crashing wasn't painful at all, but only a slow motion bounce in time. He learned to ascend into the clouds, cover vast distances, and land gently. As he soared at will over rugged mountains and crystal white seashores, reveling in the mist wonder of dream flight, suddenly something grabbed him by the ankle and tore him out of the sky. In a matter of seconds, he was dragged from the heights and violently thrown face first onto a muddy and deeply rutted road. Thunder shook the ground and rain instantly drenched him to the bone. And there it came again, illuminating the face of his daughter as she soundlessly screamed, "Daddy," and then turned to run into the darkness, her red dress visible for only a few brief flashes and then gone. He fought with all his strength to extricate himself from the mud and the water, only succeeding in being sucked deeper into its grasp. And just as he was being taken under, he woke with a gasp. With his heart racing and his imagination anchored in the nightmare's images, it took a few moments for Mac to realize it had only been a dream. But even as it faded from his consciousness, the emotions didn't go with it. The dream had provoked the great sadness, and before he could even get out of bed, he was once again fighting his way through that despair that had devoured too many of his days. With a grimace, he looked around the room in the dull gray